Hi, I'm Vanessa Lim with the San Francisco Regional Office. I'm going to discuss employee elections in the federal government. Let's start with the employee organizing process and what's needed to prepare and file a representation petition with the FLRA. Under the Federal Service Labor Management Relations Statute, a union can petition the FLRA to hold an election among federal employees to determine if they want representation for collective bargaining purposes. Details can be found at 5 U.S.C. Section 7111. The first step is to make sure that you and your coworkers are eligible under the statute. The statute only covers federal employees, not state, local, or private sector employees. Postal Service employees are also excluded. However, they are covered under a different law, and the National Labor Relations Board has jurisdiction over their employees. The NLRB also has jurisdiction over the private sector. Next, the statute defines an employee as someone employed in an agency. However, there are some exceptions. Certain agencies, like the FBI, CIA, and GAO, are expressly excluded from the statute. Others are excluded by executive order due to their national security nature. Finally, even agency employees who are covered by the statute may be excluded under 7112B. This section excludes supervisors, managers, confidential employees, personnelists, employees whose work directly affects national security, and auditors of agency employees. More information can be found on our website under the Resources and Trainings tab by clicking on the Guides and Manuals link and then the Representation Case Law outline. Next, if you don't already have one, you need to find a labor organization willing to represent you, or establish your own union. If you are establishing your own union, you need to comply with 5 U.S.C. 7111E and 5 CFR 2422.3 and submit documentation to the Department of Labor, including a roster of representatives and a copy of your Constitution and bylaws. You also need to decide who you want to represent in your organization. Are you seeking to represent employees in your work unit, the whole facility, the region, or nationwide? Once you decide which employees you are seeking to represent, you must collect a showing of interest from at least 30% of those employees. This is to ensure we spend time and resources only where there is sufficient employee interest. In order to determine what constitutes a 30% showing of interest, you need to know approximately how many employees are in the unit you want to represent. It's important to know when collecting a showing of interest that the statute distinguishes between two types of employees, professional and non-professional. Professional employees are defined as those whose work requires advanced knowledge in a field of science or learning. For example, nurses, engineers, and scientists. All other types of employees are considered non-professionals. So what will suffice as a showing of interest? 5 CFR 2421.16 gives the specifics, but basically it can be authorization cards, petitions, dues allotment forms, evidence of employee membership in a union, or other approved evidence. If you choose a petition, it should contain a heading or preamble setting forth its purpose. For example, that we, the undersigned employees, are authorizing XYZ labor organization to represent us, or that we, the undersigned employees, are requesting an election to determine if we want to be represented. Just remember, whatever you use, it must be signed and dated by the employee within a year of filing, unless the election includes more than 10,000 employees, in which case there is a 2-year time limit. Electronic signatures are not allowed. However, the FLRA accepts scanned documents with actual signatures. Once you have collected a 30% showing of interest, you're ready to file a petition. The petition form can be found on our website. The petition can be filed in person, by mail, or electronically. For information on electronic filing, refer to the FLRA's e-filing video. The petition should be filed with the regional director in the FLRA region where the unit or affected employees are located. For example, if the office is located in California or Hawaii, you need to file with the San Francisco Regional Office. If the employees are located in multiple regions, you must file the petition in the region where the agency or activity headquarters is located. If you are unsure about where to file, please visit our website or call any regional office. A copy of the petition should also be served on the agency. However, you should not serve them a copy of the showing of interest. You provide the showing of interest only to the FLRA, and it must be accompanied by an alphabetized list of the employees who signed. One final note: there are some restrictions to be aware of when filing an election petition. The election bar prevents more than one valid union election per year. The certification bar prevents an election within a year of the FLRA certifying a union. And the contract bar prevents an election under certain circumstances where a lawful contract is in effect. If you think one or more of these apply, please call the regional office to discuss. This concludes the first video on union elections and filing a representation petition. Please remember that each situation is different and there are many issues that can arise during the filing process. This is basic information based on common scenarios. For more information, visit us online where you can find information on the topics listed here. And as always, please feel free to contact any of our regional offices for assistance filing your petition and any questions.